Uncle Bean, Luke, is this your original voice? Or, I mean, you practice this voice for this channel because your voice is easy to catch for non-English an English person. So I think the question is not about the tone of my voice, that I talk like this. It's not about that, right? It's that when I say things, you can understand what I'm saying, and maybe you're wondering why you can understand what I'm saying rather than perhaps when you listen to native speakers having a conversation in a movie, why you don't understand them, right? Well, yes, I learned how to speak this way when I became an English teacher. Slowly, it just sort of happened because I became more and more aware of what people know and what they're not likely to know. So maybe that's my superpower of knowing what people probably don't know and then not saying those things. But then the question is, yes, but you're not speaking particularly slowly. I mean, my speaking speed is... Sorry, there's an emergency happening. I would say that my speaking speed is not that different from the average native speaker, and yet someone speaking the same speed at me might be still difficult to understand. Well, what's going on there? That is about all the things that I'm deciding not to say that I'm pretty sure you don't know, which include a number of things. There might be some advanced vocabulary in there, or some very local vocabulary. There might be some idioms and phrases that I could use, which I'm deciding not to use as I speak. And a native speaker will use those and not really be aware that they're saying things, they're including idioms and phrases that non-native speakers don't know. Those include phrasal verbs, they include idioms, they include regular phrases that are quite common, especially ones that are local. That means in their area, right? Maybe their state, maybe their city even, or their country, okay? And they're different for different places. So when I watch British TV, there are a lot of things I don't quite understand because I don't know that particular phrase. What does that mean? But then I have to try to figure it out from the context. Then there are references, and this is where I really struggle. When I'm watching British TV shows, I like to watch, for example, QI. That's a good one. There are a lot of things that they say, references to pop culture, famous people from England, so many different things. Other shows, quotes from movies, quotes from TV shows, characters from movies and TV shows, historical things, things that they would learn in school related to their country, their own history. There are so many things that I don't know about growing up in England or in the UK that they know that gives them a sort of special dialect that is outside of my own, that when I hear it, I think, okay, I know that, but I don't know that. I don't know that. So I have to piece it together from context. And you would get that in the United States too. References to all those things, movies, TV shows, cultural things, historical things, all of that, this giant sea of references that exist within this culture for those people who grew up in it, who were surrounded by it from the age of 0, and then slowly grew up watching movies and playing video games and listening to the radio and all of those things. So then even a native English speaker from the UK might listen to a conversation between me and a friend and say, I didn't get that, I didn't get that. There will be things that they might not understand. So this is not only a thing for non-native English speakers. This is about areas of shared knowledge and shared memes and shared references. So there are so many layers to it. The layer of usage of words, of phrases and idioms. Sometimes the accent layer, which is part of it, I suppose. And then there's that references layer. And I think the references layer, the layer of all those shared references, that's the most important one. That's the main reason why people don't understand native English speakers, because they're making so many references that you simply don't know. Right? My wife, her English is very good. She's a non-native English speaker. And in a work conversation, she understands what's happening. She gets it. She understands, because when you're at work, you speak about work stuff and you don't joke around as much. You just communicate clearly to make sure everyone understands, right? But then she'll hear a conversation sometimes in a movie and she'll say, I have no idea what they were talking about. The English itself is just as clear, but all of those very local references are not so obvious and something you need to really surround yourself with. So there, if you want to understand, if you want to really get or grab onto the language culturally, you have to start watching a lot of movies, TV shows, playing video games, going on Reddit, reading memes. Get into it. Surround yourself with it, and you'll start to learn more. Like PewDiePie. I made a video about why PewDiePie is so good at English. Well, one of the reasons is he's just surrounded by the language all the time. He's not a native English speaker, but his English is excellent. It basically sounds native. So why is that? Because he's immersed himself in it since he was a kid, right? So I hope that gives you some insight. That's why you understand me better, because I'm not doing those things. And I think that was your question. So if you have any other questions, let me know. If you haven't already done so, please go beat that dog over there that's making loud noises so that it will be quiet. That dog drives me crazy. Honestly, that dog, I'll be filming something and that dog will, and then I think it's done. Oh, the dog is done. And then I'll start speaking again because I'm recording something. And then the dog, it's like it knows to take a break just to drive me absolutely insane. Living in the city, I'm over it. I'm over it. So over it. I'm over it. Yeah, so don't forget to, sorry for complaining. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also check out my full courses in the links in the description.